Welcome to Asia Report, coming to you from Cisco's head office in Singapore. I'm with Peter Jacobson, the Director of Collaboration Marketing. Peter, I'd like to ask you about collaboration and social networking for enterprises. We all know about Facebook. How is social networking going to make enterprises more productive?
Well, I think it's going to help enterprises collaborate much better internally and also with their customers, with their partners, suppliers, and similarly. But it's also going to put a lot of pressures on the enterprise, in as much I think today for a lot of companies is a question of how do we deal with it. Is it safe? Is it secure? Is it something that actually helps my company? Does it rob time away from other things that would be more productive? So I think companies are going to have to find a time to look at and evaluate what do we do with social networking in your company. In Cisco, it's very clearly something we've adopted. It's something that we promoted. Our CEO, John Chambers, would gladly talk about it, into analyst communities, and similarly talk about how we adopted wikis, how we adopted social applications like Facebook, and similarly, and how much it has actually helped us become more productive and work across borders and similarly.
What sort of products is Cisco offering to help enterprises become more productive using social networking?
In our recent collaboration launch in October, which is the ECP, or the Enterprise Collaboration Platform, which will allow companies to host and manage a social networking site within their company with all the flexibility of what you would have from, say, Facebook in the commercial space, right? And that you can manage it as you would. You can set security parameters, because this is something we also need to look at. In the last decade, we've had regulations coming up that require companies to really look at, who can talk to whom, say in the financial industry, Sarbanes-Oxley. Are analysts allowed to talk to people who sell securities, and similarly, they can freely collaborate, right, on Facebook and similar. But within the enterprise, we will need to make sure that they can't. Do I need to maintain separate systems? What we are saying at Cisco, as an inherent in that collaboration architecture, is a core which resides in the network, which would determine, firstly, simple things like, are you available? What's your preferred choice of communications? Is it voice? Is it via email, or is it video? Am I allowed to talk to that person as well? So, for instance, that in the system, in that security setting of the policy layer, it would simply say, you're trying to connect with so-and-so, but you're not allowed to. And that will secure it so that company can actually also live up to those regulations that they have to abide by.
And what sort of interest are you getting from companies?
Well, I think we're getting an awful lot of interest from companies simply because they realize it's something that it's changing the world that we're in, internally in the company, and clearly, outside the company. Our consumers are using it, expecting it. Our staff are bringing it into the company. I have an iPhone with me, and I've got all these applications on my iPhone, and I communicate with my colleagues on it as well, but as friends. But I really think, it'd be really nice if I can communicate with you internally as well on projects that I'm working with, where I can post real time and don't have to rely on email. Email has been kind of like, and text and voice, using the phone has been the traditional media for us. And we're really moving into a new area where we for instance, most people would agree today you get far too many emails. We chat with each other using email, which is not productive. It takes up space. It's not easy to kind of get an overview of what's going on. But if you have a good user interface and as a social software, you'll be able to see who's posted a remark, who's edited the document that I uploaded as well, like as we do in wikis, right?
Peter Jacobson, thanks very much.
Welcome.
This is Simon Carney reporting for Telecom TV. Thanks for watching.